Hi everyone. Welcome back to the King English Podcast. This is your go-to English listening practice podcast, designed to help you learn and improve in a way that feels natural and relaxed. You know, sometimes learning English can feel a bit overwhelming, like you have to memorize a giant dictionary, right? It can really feel like there are endless words and grammar rules to remember, and honestly, it's a lot. It really is a lot to take in all at once. But here's a little secret, and it's a good one. A lot of everyday English isn't just about knowing thousands of single words. It's actually more about knowing and using common phrases that native speakers use all the time. We hear these phrases everywhere. Think about movies, TV shows, or even just real natural conversations you overhear. When you hear them, they just sound right. They sound natural, and that's because they're such a big part of how people really talk. Knowing these ready-made phrases can make you sound so much more confident and natural, even if you're just starting out on your English journey. You don't have to struggle to build every single sentence from scratch. These phrases are like building blocks that are already put together for you. They're also super practical. You can start using them right away in all sorts of different situations, which makes learning them very rewarding. By the way, I'm Jenny, and I'm Tom. We're your hosts, and this is English and Comfort. It's the perfect place for you to learn English while you relax, maybe lie down, or even while you're falling asleep. We want this to be an easy and stress-free experience for you. No pressure, no stress, just real English to help you on your journey. Today, we're excited to share 30 common English phrases that you'll hear and use every single day. These aren't just random words. They are the real building blocks for everyday English conversation. That's right. We use these phrases with our family, with our friends, at work, and even when we're doing simple things like ordering food or just saying hello. Mastering them will truly boost your English fluency and improve your speaking practice. So, get comfortable, grab your tea or just a glass of water, and let's get started. Go with the flow, all right. Let's dive into our very first phrase, which is a really common and relaxed one. Go with the flow. Ah yes, go with the flow. I love this one because it's all about being flexible and easygoing. Exactly. This phrase means to relax and just adapt to whatever happens, instead of trying to control everything or resist any changes. It's about being flexible and accepting things as they come your way. So, for example, if our plans change unexpectedly, instead of getting stressed or upset, you just go with the flow and make the best of the new situation. That's a perfect example. If your friends suggest a different activity than what you had planned, you could just say, "Oh, I don't really mind. I'll just go with the flow." This simple phrase shows that you're easygoing and not rigid. Or if you're traveling and something unexpected happens, like a train delay, you might say, "Well, it's a bit of a delay, but we'll just go with the flow and enjoy the extra time." Let's try it together in a quick conversation. Tom: "Hey Jenny, our plan got canceled. What do you want to do instead?" Jenny: "Oh no." "Well, no worries, Tom. I'm pretty relaxed today, so I'll just go with the flow. What do you suggest?" See how natural that sounds? Go with the flow is a great phrase to show you're an easygoing person. By no means. Let's move to our next phrase, which is a strong one for saying definitely not or not at all. It's by no means. By no means is a very firm and formal way to express a strong disagreement or a strong denial. It's much, much stronger than just saying no. That's right. You use it when you want to make it very clear that something is absolutely not true or not possible under any circumstances. So if someone asks you, "Are you finished with that difficult project?" you could firmly say, "By no means. I still have hours of work left." Or if someone suggests you're upset about something, you could reply, "By no means. I'm actually feeling very positive about it." Let's practice. Jenny: "Tom, did you manage to get any sleep last night with all that noise?" Tom: "By no means, Jenny. It was impossible to sleep." So remember, by no means definitely not or absolutely not. It's a powerful phrase. Out of the blue. Next phrase, out of the blue. Out of the blue. This phrase perfectly describes something that happens unexpectedly or suddenly without any warning. It's like something just appears or happens with no prior indication. So it's about a surprise event or a sudden occurrence. Precisely. It means something happened without any previous signs or hints. It's like a sudden surprise that comes from nowhere. So, for example, if your old friend from high school calls you after many years, you could say, "He called me completely out of the blue." Or, "The company announced big changes to our project out of the blue. Nobody was expecting it. Let's try it in a conversation." Tom: "You won't believe what happened." Jenny: "What?" Tom: "I received a job offer from my dream company today." Jenny: "Wow, that's amazing. That came totally out of the blue. Congratulations." So, out of the blue means suddenly and unexpectedly. On second thought, okay. Our next phrase is on second thought. On second thought is a phrase we use when we've changed our mind about something we just said or considered. It indicates a slight shift in our decision or opinion. It's like saying, "Wait a minute, I've had another idea." Or, "Actually, maybe not." Exactly. It introduces a revised thought or a new perspective after the initial one. For example, you might first say, "I'll have a coffee." And then on second thought, you might add, "Actually, I think I'll have tea instead." Let's try a quick practice. Jenny: "Tom, are you going to the birthday party?" Tom: "Yeah, I think so." On second thought, maybe I should stay home and get some rest. See how Tom first agreed but then changed his mind? On second thought signals that change. The bottom line next phrase, the bottom line. The bottom line refers to the most important or essential point in a discussion, situation, or explanation. It's the main takeaway or the crucial factor. So it's like getting straight to the heart of the matter. It cuts through all the extra details and focuses on what's most important. For instance, if you're discussing the costs of a project, you might say, "After all the calculations, the bottom line is that we've gone over budget." It's the key piece of information you need to understand. Let's try it. Jenny: "We've talked about all the different options and possibilities. But what's the most important thing to remember?" Tom: "The bottom line is that we need to make a decision by tomorrow morning." In other words, the bottom line means get straight to the point. Lost for words. Next up, we have lost for words. Lost for words. This is a phrase we use when we are so surprised, shocked, or overwhelmed by something that we can't think of anything to say. It's like being speechless. Exactly. It implies a temporary inability to speak because your emotions or the situation has left you without anything to say. For example, when she won the award, she was completely lost for words. This means that she was so overwhelmed with emotion that she couldn't speak. Or, when I saw the damage to my car, I was lost for words. In this case, it's a feeling of shock. Let's try it out. Jenny: "Tom, I have some amazing news. You got the job." Tom: "Wow, I don't know what to say. I'm lost for words." See how Tom couldn't immediately respond because he was so surprised and happy? Lost for words perfectly captures that feeling. Take a leap of faith. All right, next phrase is take a leap of faith. Take a leap of faith. This phrase means to do something important or difficult even if you're not sure about the outcome, because you believe it will be good or right. It's like making a big decision or taking a big step when you don't have all the answers. It often involves taking a risk, but it's a risk you feel is necessary or important. It's about having courage and trusting the process. For example, if someone is thinking about starting a new business but is worried about the future, you might tell them, "Sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith and believe in your idea." That's a perfect example. Or, she decided to quit her old job and move to a new city without a job waiting for her. It was a real leap of faith. Let's try this. Tom: "I'm thinking about going back to university, but I'm worried about the cost and the time it will take." Jenny: "I understand, but sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith and trust that it will work out for your future." See how it encourages someone to be brave and commit even when things are uncertain? On the tip of my tongue. Next phrase is a very relatable one. On the tip of my tongue. On the tip of my tongue. It perfectly describes that feeling when you know something, like a word or a name, but you just can't remember it at that exact moment. That's exactly it. It means you're almost able to recall it, but it's just out of reach, right there, almost ready to be said. It's so frustrating when that happens. You feel like you know it, but it just won't come out. For example, I know his name. It's right on the tip of my tongue, but I just can't remember it. Or, I'm trying to remember that movie I watched last week. The title is on the tip of my tongue, but I can't quite get it. Let's use it in a conversation. Jenny: Tom, what was that restaurant called? The one with the great pizza. Tom: Oh, I know it. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Go figure. Next up, go figure. Go figure is a casual phrase we use when we're talking about something that is surprising, puzzling, or ironic. It's like saying, "Isn't that strange?" Or "Can you believe that?" So it's often used when something happens that doesn't quite make sense or is just unexpected. Exactly. It expresses mild surprise or sometimes a bit of resignation to something odd. You use it when something seems illogical or hard to explain. For instance, I studied all night for the exam, but I still got a low score. My friend didn't study at all and got an A. Go figure. That's a classic example. It's used when something seems unfair or just plain weird. Let's try it. Tom: I spent a lot of money on a really fancy car, but it's always in the repair shop. My neighbor bought a very cheap one and it runs perfectly. Jenny: Go figure. It's a great way to react to an ironic or confusing situation. Clear the air. Next phrase. Clear the air. Clear the air. This phrase means to talk about something that's causing a problem or a misunderstanding, so that the situation can be resolved and people can feel better. It's about resolving a disagreement or a tension between people by talking openly and honestly. You've got the perfect image, Tom. You use it when there's some tension or an unresolved issue that needs to be discussed so everyone can feel better. For example, Sarah and Jessica had a disagreement, but they decided to meet up and clear the air so they could be friends again. Or, there was a lot of gossip at work, so the manager called a meeting to clear the air and address everyone's concerns. Let's try it. Jenny: I feel like there's been some misunderstanding between you and your friend lately. Tom: Yeah, you're right. I think we need to meet up and clear the air. What's the catch? Next up, a great phrase for when something seems too good to be true. What's the catch? What's the catch? This phrase means you're skeptical about something because it seems too easy, too good, or too cheap, and you suspect there might be a hidden problem or a disadvantage. It's like saying, "What's the hidden condition?" Or, "What's the catch?" Exactly. You're looking for the hidden cost or the tricky part. Or, if a new product promises incredible results with no effort, you might ask, "What's the catch?" It's about looking for the fine print, the part that isn't immediately obvious. Let's use it in a conversation. Jenny: I found a new English course online, and it's completely free and it promises fluency in 1 month. Tom: That sounds amazing, Jenny. But what's the catch? Is it really that simple? Don't jump to conclusions. Next phrase is a really important one. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't jump to conclusions. This phrase is a warning. It means you shouldn't make a quick judgment or a decision about something without having all the facts. It's used to tell someone to be careful and not assume things too quickly. It implies that people are making a decision or a judgment incorrectly because they haven't considered everything. For example, don't jump to conclusions just because he didn't call you back. Maybe his phone battery died. Or, she saw them talking and immediately jumped to conclusions that they were planning something against her, when they were just discussing work. It's a warning against making quick, uninformed judgments. Let's try it out. Tom: I saw Sarah packing a suitcase, so she must be leaving the company. Jenny: Whoa, Tom, don't jump to conclusions. She might just be going on vacation. Get a load of this. Next up, we have get a load of this. Get a load of this. This phrase is an informal and fun way to get someone's attention before you tell them something surprising, funny, or a piece of news or information that might be a bit shocking or very amusing. For example, I was walking home today and get a load of this. A cat was riding on the back of a dog. That's a great example. Or, you won't believe what happened at work today. Get a load of this. They completely changed the meeting schedule at the last minute. It's a fun way to start a story or share something surprising. Let's practice it. Tom. You're not going to believe what I just read in the news. Jenny. Oh, what? Tom. Get a load of this. They discovered a new kind of animal in the rainforest that can change its color completely. Jenny. Wow. You live and learn. Next phrase. You live and learn. You live and learn is a phrase we use to express that you've learned something from a mistake or a bad experience. It's a way of saying that you've gained wisdom or a lesson after doing something wrong. For instance, I tried to fix the computer myself, but I made it worse. Well, you live and learn. Or, I thought I knew everything about that topic, but after today's lesson, you live and learn. There's so much more to know. Let's use it in a conversation. Jenny. I bought that new phone without reading any reviews, and it's terrible. Tom. Oh no. Well, you live and learn, right? Next time you'll check the reviews first. It's not rocket science next. We have, it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. This phrase means that something is not very difficult or complicated to understand or to do. It's a way of saying something is simple, easy, or obvious. Exactly. It's a very common way to reassure someone or to say that something is straightforward. For example, don't worry about using this app. It's not rocket science once you get the hang of it. Or, following these simple instructions for cooking dinner, it's not rocket science. Anyone can do it. It's a reassuring phrase telling someone not to overthink things. Let's try it out. Tom. I'm trying to figure out how to use this new coffee machine, but it looks so complicated. Jenny. Don't worry, Tom. Just follow the steps. It's not rocket science once you read the instructions. Don't sweat it. Okay, let's head to our next phrase. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it is a very casual and friendly phrase that means don't worry about it, or it's not a big deal. You use it to tell someone not to get stressed or concerned over a small problem. It's a way to let someone know that what they did isn't a problem at all. For example, if someone apologizes for being a minute late, you might say, "Oh, don't sweat it. You're perfectly on time." Or if you accidentally spill a little water, your friend might say, "Don't sweat it. It's just water. It'll dry." It's a great phrase for everyday reassurance. Let's try it. Tom. I'm so sorry. I completely forgot to bring the book you asked for. Jenny. Don't sweat it, Tom. I can always get it later. No big deal at all. See how don't sweat it immediately eases the tension. Round the clock. Next phrase, round the clock. Round the clock. This phrase means continuously, all day and all night, or 24 hours a day. It's used to describe something that happens without stopping. For example, the hospital staff worked round the clock to help the patients. It emphasizes a continuous effort. Right. Or, they had to work round the clock to finish the project before the deadline. It's a great way to say that something is happening without a break. Let's try it. Jenny. I heard that new online store is so popular. I heard they're getting orders non-stop. Tom. Yes, they're working round the clock to fulfill all the orders. Even at night, right? Round the clock means continuously. 24 hours a day. You can say that again next up. You can say that again. You can say that again. This is a very common and enthusiastic phrase we use to show strong agreement with what someone has just said. It means, that's absolutely true, or I completely agree with you. So it's not actually asking someone to repeat themselves. It's a way of showing strong agreement. Exactly. It's used as a response to a statement you strongly believe in. For instance, this new coffee machine makes the best coffee ever. The other person could reply, you can say that again, Jenny. It's absolutely delicious. It's a way of saying, I agree so much that you could say it a second time, and I'd still agree. Let's try it out. Tom. This weather is just too hot. Jenny. You can say that again. I can't wait for a cool breeze. Get your act together. Next, get your act together. Get your act together is a phrase you use to tell someone or yourself to start behaving in a more organized, responsible, or effective way. It means to improve your behavior or situation. So it's like saying, stop being disorganized or lazy and start being serious and effective. Use it when someone is not performing well or is being lazy. You could say, you need to get your act together if you want to pass this class. Or, I need to get my act together and start exercising every day. Let's try it. Jenny, I'm always late for work and I'm really stressed out about it. Tom, I understand that feeling, Jenny. Maybe it's time to get your act together and make a daily schedule to follow. To each their own. Let's move to our next phrase. To each their own. To each their own. This is a phrase we use to express that everyone has different tastes, preferences, or opinions, and we should respect those differences. Yes, it implies that what one person likes or chooses might not be what another person likes or chooses, and that's perfectly fine. It's a way of accepting individual preferences without judgment. For example, I don't really like spicy food. The other person could respond, to each their own. This shows that you understand and accept their preference without judgment. Or, I can't believe people listen to that kind of music. The other person could respond, well, to each their own, I guess. Let's practice. Tom, I don't understand why people would want to live in the city. It's too noisy and crowded. Jenny, I prefer living in the countryside too, but I know many people love the city. To each their own, Tom. Some people really love it. Right? To each their own means everyone has different preferences, and we should respect that. It's a tough call next up. It's a tough call. It's a tough call. This phrase means that a decision is difficult to make because both options or sides have strong arguments, or there are significant pros and cons for each. So it's about a difficult choice where there's no clear, easy answer. Precisely. You use it when you're faced with a problem and it's hard to decide which path to take. For example, should I take the job with a higher salary but a longer commute, or the job with a lower salary but it's closer to home? It's a tough call. Or, choosing between these two universities is a tough call. Both are excellent for different reasons. Let's use it in a conversation. Jenny, we have two candidates for the job, and they're both incredibly qualified. Who should we hire? Tom, it's a tough call. I think we need to look at their past experiences more closely. See eye to eye. Next phrase is see eye to eye. See eye to eye means to agree with someone or have the same opinion about something. If two people see eye to eye, they share the same views and understanding. It's about being in agreement or having a shared perspective. Use it when you and another person have similar thoughts or opinions on a topic. For example, my brother and I rarely see eye to eye on politics. This means they usually disagree all the time. Or, luckily, the whole team sees eye to eye on this new project. We're all in agreement. Let's try it. Tom, my boss and I completely see eye to eye on the new marketing strategy. It's going to be a big success. Jenny, that's great. It makes it so much easier when you're in agreement. Weigh the pros and cons next. Weigh the pros and cons. Weigh the pros and cons. This phrase means to consider both the advantages and the disadvantages of something before making a decision. It's about a careful analysis. It's a very useful phrase when you are analyzing a situation, a decision, or an idea, and you want to consider all the positive and negative aspects. So if you're thinking about buying a new car, you would weigh the pros and cons of each model before deciding. Exactly. Or before starting a business, it's important to consider all the pros and cons very carefully. It's a very practical phrase for decision-making and discussion. Let's use it in a conversation. Jenny, I'm thinking about taking a long trip, but I'm not sure. What do you think? Tom, well, you should weigh the pros and cons first. Think about the cost, the time, and the experiences you'll have. Long story short. Next phrase is long story short. Long story short is a phrase we use to quickly summarize something without giving all the details. It's a way of saying, to put it simply, or in a nutshell. You use this phrase when you are talking about something that is complicated or a long story, and you just want to share the main outcome or key information quickly. For example, I had a lot of trouble getting to the airport, but long story short, I made my flight just in time. Or, I spent hours trying to fix my computer, but long story short, I ended up having to buy a new one. It's a great way to save time and get to the point in a conversation. Let's try it out. Tom: what happened with that complicated meeting you had yesterday? Jenny: well, it was a really long discussion, but long story short, we finally came to an agreement. Call it even next. Call it even. Call it even. This phrase means to agree that two people have helped each other equally, so that no one owes the other anything anymore. It's a way of balancing out a favor or a debt. So if I buy you a coffee today, we might say, let's call it even. Or, you helped me move furniture last week, and I just helped you with your garden. Let's call it even. It's a friendly way to balance out small favors or debts. Let's try it. Tom: I owe you $5 from yesterday. Jenny: oh, don't worry about it, Tom. You bought me lunch last week. Let's just call it even. See how it easily resolves a small outstanding debt or favor? Don't get me wrong. Next, we have don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong is a very important phrase that you use when you want to make sure that someone understands your true intentions or feelings, especially when you are about to say something that might sound negative or critical. It's a way of clarifying your point and avoiding a misunderstanding. It's often used before you say something negative, to soften it and make sure the person understands you're not being rude or dismissive. For example, that new idea is a bit complicated. Don't get me wrong, it's a very creative idea but maybe not practical for us. Here, you're clarifying. You're not saying the idea is bad, just complicated. Or, I don't really like crowded places. Don't get me wrong, I love meeting new people, but I prefer smaller groups. It's a great phrase for being tactful and precise in your English communication. Let's use it in a conversation. Jenny: I think that new movie was a bit slow. Tom: don't get me wrong, Jenny. I appreciate the acting, but I agree. The pace was a little too slow for me. I read you loud and clear. Next up, I read you loud and clear. I read you loud and clear. This phrase means that you understand what someone has told you perfectly and completely. It's a way of saying, I hear you and I understand, with an emphasis on the clarity of the message. It often comes from radio communication, but it's used in everyday language. For example, if your boss gives you very detailed instructions, you could say, okay, I read you loud and clear. I'll get it done. Or, my friend told me not to be late for the meeting and I said, don't worry. I read you loud and clear. Let's try it out. Tom: remember, the deadline for the report is absolutely tomorrow. No extensions. Jenny: got it, Tom. I read you loud and clear. The report will be ready. Make ends meet. Next phrase is make ends meet. Make ends meet. This phrase means to earn just enough money to cover your basic living expenses, such as food, rent, and bills. It's about managing your finances so you don't go into debt. It's a common phrase in conversations about budgeting and financial challenges. For example, it's tough for him to make ends meet since he lost his job. Or, she had to work 2 jobs to make ends meet until she found a new one. It's a common phrase in conversations about budgeting and financial challenges. Let's try it. Jenny: Tom, how are you finding things since you started your new part-time job? Tom: it's okay, Jenny, but it's still a bit tough to make ends meet every month. You win some, you lose some. Now, we have you win some, you lose some. You win some, you lose some. This is a phrase we use to accept that life has both successes and failures, and you can't always win every time. It's about acknowledging that sometimes things won't go your way, and that's just a normal part of life. It's a phrase of acceptance and a way to deal with disappointment in a healthy way. You use it to console someone or yourself after a failure. For instance, I didn't get the promotion at work, but hey, you win some, you lose some. Or, my favorite team lost the game, but that's okay. You win some, you lose some. Let's use it in a conversation. Jenny: I spent hours preparing for that presentation, and it didn't go as well as I hoped. Tom. Ah, I know that feeling. But hey, you win some, you lose some. The important thing is you tried your best. Keep me posted right now. We're at our last phrase for today, which is keep me posted. Keep me posted is a very common and useful phrase that means keep me updated or inform me regularly about the situation or progress. It's about asking someone to continue sharing news or developments with you. You use it when you're interested in the outcome of something, but can't be involved in every step. For example, I'm still waiting to hear back about that job. I'll keep you posted. Or, did you hear about the new project? We're still in the early stages, but I'll keep you posted as we make progress. Let's try it. Tom, are you making any progress on planning the big event next month? Jenny, yes, we're making progress. I'll keep you posted on the details as they come together. And that brings us to the end of our 30 common English phrases for everyday use. We really hope you enjoyed learning these essential expressions that native speakers use all the time. It was a great journey through phrases that will truly boost your English listening and speaking practice. From go with the flow to make ends meet, these phrases are the building blocks of real English conversation. They will help you sound more natural and confident. To continue improving your English fluency and expanding your everyday English vocabulary, please remember to subscribe to the King English Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. By subscribing, you won't miss any of our episodes packed with more common phrases, speaking practice, and useful tips to help you feel more comfortable and confident in English. Thank you so much for spending this time with us and allowing us to be a part of your English learning journey. Keep practicing, keep listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.